What happens if I don't pay an unsecured debt? How can these creditors come after me? That's from Dennis. Good question. If you have an unsecured debt, depending on the balance that's owed and depending on the creditor who you owe money to, some creditors are very aggressive. You can say right off the bat, American Express, aggressive. Suncoast Schools, aggressive. Bank of America, little less aggressive. They usually sell off their receivables to a company called Cash, C-A-C-H, LLC. Who else? Bank of America. I'm sorry, not Bank of America. I was thinking Chase. Chase is aggressive. They have their own in-house counsel who will file suit. Now, can you defend those suits? Absolutely. You make them cross their T's and dot their I's. Oh, another one I think of is Citibank. Citibank has a gentleman in Orlando named Patrick Carey who files all their lawsuits against them. The whole state of Florida wide, this guy's got a monopoly on it. I don't know how or why, I don't know if he's in-house counsel. I don't know what he did to get this job, but I know for the last 15 years he's been filing suit on behalf of Citibank, at least 15 years or more. And we've defended, I can't tell you, countless cases against their office. Usually we can settle those with little to no resistance from Citibank. But again, not as aggressive as many of them. Some of them are extremely aggressive and will not work with you. Some of the unsecured creditors are very lackadaisical and don't really file suit on a big balance or on a little balance because it's not worth their time and effort. They just kind of write it off and let it go. But of course they mar your credit for the next 7 years, and then they'll eventually sell it and charge it off, and then the debt collectors start calling you. But file suit? Probably not. The problem is how the creditors come after me. If they do file a lawsuit, they're trying to get a judgment. That personal judgment is going to hurt your credit report, no doubt. Then they're trying to satisfy that judgment, and they'll do a deposition in aid of execution, or they'll try to garnish your wages if they can, or they'll try to garnish a bank account. They'll come after you any way possible. So really, when you're thinking about it, you remember what we were talking about before, husband, wife, and the assets that are marital assets. A creditor cannot touch a wife's assets if only the husband is responsible for the debt. So that's why I say it's real important to keep the debts separate, assets together. Use the marriage for the benefits that it offers. I guess what I'm trying to say, when you're married, you got to think about, okay, if this furniture was a marital asset, creditors can't touch it. If this car is a marital asset, creditors can't touch it unless a creditor has a claim against both husband and wife. Debts separate, assets together. Never forget that.